Hi everybody, this is Rhys Barber from Audiology Associates. Welcome to our earwax removal compilation video today. 3 patients, I believe, in this compilation. Now this first patient, you can see, it's got this kind of very sticky wax here right at the entrance to the canal. Not completely blocked up, but patient experiencing a lot of kind of intermittent hearing issues. The reason for that is because your temporomandibular joint, your TMJ, is just there, just below your ear canal. So when your jaw moves and you do that movement, your ear canal actually, turn the side on, ear canal does this. So if you've got some wax in there, that's almost blocking the ear canal. With that movement, it kind of comes and goes and comes and goes. So we've got this kind of very, very thick and sticky wax. You can see now if you altered the shape of the canal and you went from this shape to this shape, how that very sticky natured wax would stick to opposing canal walls. Now, why do some people have sticky wax? Why do some people have hard wax? Why do some people have soft wax? It's all down to your genetics. So everybody is very different, and wax is a very personal thing. So some produce a lot of wax, some produce hardly anything at all, some produce dry, some produce wet. So it all depends on how much kind of oil you're producing in the ear canal, lots of other different factors as well. So yeah, that's the reason you get lots and lots of different types of wax. Now this patient was talking a little bit as we were going through, which is why there's little movements every so often. We've got this good sort of grip on this long plug. There we go, out that comes. You can see the color gradation through there as well. So it's like a little wax rainbow, all different colors going all the way through. There's the eardrum there looking nice and healthy. It looks like there's a little bit of soft wax here at the top. Now, to give you a bit of backstory to this particular patient, it's a lovely young lady that comes through, and she has to come through about every 6 months to get her ears, her ear cleaned out. She does get a lot of this particular type of wax on this particular ear canal as well. So it's usually the same kind of consistency. So this is what it looks like before we started, and this is what it looks like after we finish. So you can see a much clearer ear canal, patient hearing much better. Eardrum did look a little bit dull, but strangely, the patient had been up a mountain yesterday, so it meant that their pressure hadn't quite equalized back up yet. So 1.5 centimeters, or 5/8 of an inch of anyone's money, that is. So you can see it, quite a big old plug that came away, little tail attached to the back end that comes out as well. So stay tuned for our next one. So here we go. This is our second patient. Let's have a little look. Oh, this lady was lovely. This lady came through and has been suffering with problems with hearing for a little while. And you'll see why. You can see at the moment, also a very, very small ear canal. This is the standard size ulnar tube. We can just about get that in there. So you can see it's not a tremendous size of ear canal. So why do some people get smaller ear canals than others? Also genetic. Some people are bigger than others, some people are smaller than others, some people got big heads, some people got small heads, and that's basically denotes what kind of size ear canal you get. There are certain conditions which can result in getting much smaller ear canals over the time, but luckily there's not too many of those around. Most people, it's just the way they're made up. It's just that this particular patient have very small ear canals. So this is a very, very dry type of wax. You can see here, it's actually mostly skin here at the entrance. There's a very dark, dry piece of wax further in, but you can see it's really holding onto the canal walls here. So we're having to use the Jobson horn. Basically, the suction tube just won't cut it really to get through this kind of this skin material here. But you can see this long layer. Look how it's pulling back there, see, into the ear canal. So we're still detaching here. I was hoping it was going to scoop the whole thing forwards, but not quite. And if we take a look behind, we can see that little kind of nugget of dark wax. Now, this particular patient had their ears syringed or irrigated. Now, I know this happens a lot in the US. Doesn't used to happen a lot here in the UK, not so much these days. So irrigation is where you pump water into the ear and you pump it so that it flushes down the canal, almost kind of washes down over the eardrum and flushes backwards. So what you're doing is carrying any wax out. Now, it's not done so much here in the UK. It used to be really popular in GP surgeries, but you struggle to get it done these days quite so often. And that's because there was a little bit of a kind of safety question mark over it, if you like. Because you irrigate, what you do is pumping water in blind. You're not really looking into the ear canal. So you've got to be a really adept practitioner at doing that. And if the kind of the spray that you put in, or the kind of pulse of water you put in, if that's aimed at kind of the wrong area, you can end up hitting the eardrum, and that can cause a few issues. You you can also flush all the ear's natural defenses away as well. So it leaves that ear more prone to infection and things like that as well. So we've got this last little piece of, this is a combination of wax and skin. So you can see that skin is holding on at the top there, and the rest of it is wax. You can see it's embedded in a little bit of dry skin here. So I thought, well, okay, we could try the crocodile forceps. Let's give it a go. If it's quite a hard piece, then it's going to hold really well and come forwards, and it does. And then it gets to the outer part of the canal, gets wedged, and then the crocodile forceps just can't grip it well enough, unfortunately. So it's just kind of tearing through the middle of it. So let's bring the suction tube back in now. There you go. Guys, I'm trying to add a little bit more information in here. If you like that approach, then let me know in the comment section. If you really can't stand it and you just want me to talk about the wax, drop that into the comment section as well. We'll try and alter things around a little bit as, you know, just so you know, we get an idea of what you guys actually want to hear while we're doing the voiceovers as well, you see. So we're managing to get this last little bit away. It's broken in two, unfortunately. So there's just one last little bit to come out. So we're going to sneak over the top with the Jobson horn. Bring that down. There we go. You can see it's really brought that neck section forward. Let's get behind that, draw that forward. It's quite a long piece, this one. We're sitting really deep in the ear canal. Now, I was talking about this lady having irrigation before. Now, they tried to clear the ear canal a few times, but they've been leaving something behind. And in fairness, they told the patient they would be leaving something behind. They just couldn't, it was too risky to remove it. And I think that was that dark piece you just saw us take away there. So this is what it looked like at the start. And this is what it looks like at the end. So you can see much, much clearer. This is what we removed. So just over 2 centimeters, 7/8 of an inch there, guys. I know, easy read ruler. I'm cheating a bit because it's an easy read ruler. You put the 2 plastic rulers on there, I wouldn't have the first idea. Stay tuned for your next patient as well. There is another one coming up now. There we go. So this is the last patient, I think, in the compilation. Now you can see a very, very sort of dark coloured wax. Now this lovely, lovely gent came through. Now there's a lot of history with this patient of ear issues. So the patient had repeated ear infections when they were younger. Also had a set of grommets put in as well. Now a grommet is a very small plastic tube that when you insert into the ear canal, the reason you put it into the eardrum, sorry, when you put it into the eardrum, what that does, it keeps a hole open, if you like, in the eardrum. Now, why would you want to do that? Because you get a lot of fluid build up with glue ear, and that's basically what the glue is this kind of fluid that sits behind the eardrum, and it doesn't drain away very well. So what you do is you make a little incision in the eardrum and you put this grommet in, it allows airflow through, which allows the fluid to drain through the tube to the back of the throat much quicker, so the patient keeps better hearing for longer. Because what you get then is when there's fluid behind the eardrum, it can't vibrate as well as it should. So this patient had a history of having grommets fitted. Now that does tend to leave a little bit of scar tissue behind, but also with the infections in there as well, we're expecting to see some scarring on the eardrum. We're just bringing this bigger plug forwards now. There we go. So we're just lifting that up with the Jobson horn. Lots of bits of hair, all sorts. And this is also a lot of dry skin in here. Now, we did say the patient had a few issues as far as infections were concerned. Now, what can happen in some patients is when they get repeated infections, especially in childhood, which is quite common in children to get repeated infections, just because the ear canals are a little bit smaller. You don't expel wax, dirt, debris as easily, water can get trapped in there, that kind of thing. But what it can do, especially if you've got lots of outer ear infections, it can actually sort of damage the skin of the ear canal. So when you've got this migration, we talk about this conveyor belt of skin moving outwards, then it can actually damage that little bit of skin. So what you end up with then is it doesn't migrate out as well as you should, and you end up with these kind of little plates of dry skin and a few other issues. And you can see how this dry skin is kind of folded around the plug itself, which is making it a little bit more difficult to get out. It doesn't want to come out easily, this one. So we're just going to wiggle this one. There we go. Oh guys, if you are enjoying the video, then don't forget to subscribe, follow the page, depending on what platform you're watching this on. You can always drop us a like if you want. You could always share it with your friends. Just a suggestion. And you can see now we're just getting this last little section. There we go. It's starting to move, but these plates of dry skin are really kind of anchoring this into place. It doesn't want to come away easily. There we go. I've popped a little bit of olive oil in. Look at the difference the olive oil makes now. We were struggling with this a second ago. Look at that. It came out like a greased weasel, as they would say here in the UK. So it flew out to that ear canal, basically. It came away really, really easily. We'll take a look behind it. There's the eardrum. You can see there's some scarring. I'll show you in a second. So you've got this is what it looked like before. This is what it looks like after. See how the eardrum is kind of pop marked almost? It's lots of got ripples all over it. That's the remainder of the scarring. So 2.5 centimeters, bang on 1 inch in that ear canal there. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed that video as much as I did voicing it over. I do have a good video with a foreign body in it coming up. I think that might be your next video actually. So you'll enjoy that one. So make sure you stay tuned for that one as well, guys. Well guys, have a great couple of days and I'll see you again real soon. Take care of yourselves, take care of your ears, and take care of one another. Bye everyone.